Thank you, Lucy, and all of the Tempo team, and thank you all for participating today. It may seem strange that as a scientist, I'm the one here to talk to you about storytelling, rather than the great storytelling artists and composers involved in this project. However, I want to talk a little bit about how scientists and engineers have gotten in our own way in telling the story to inspire others to climate action, and how we might reframe that story and engage music and artists in doing so more effectively. The stories that we read and hear and see about climate change provide a distorted and largely unhelpful view of reality. Earlier today, we heard and discussed some of the reasons why. These were focused largely on the recipients of the story, all of us, and how we get and respond to the signals we get from the world around us. We heard about these, how we process bad news, and why a looming climate crisis tends to lead to numbness and inaction. We heard about the visceral connections that sounds have to emotions, and how the way we consume music has changed to our detriment. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about the storytellers and the stories themselves. The questions I'm wondering about are, why are we bad at telling the story? And if we're telling the wrong story, what's the right one? And finally, what can we learn from our previous discussions? And how can we as scientists and artists work together to make a story that's not only moving, but moves us to actions, and hopefully to the right actions? So, why is the story so often wrong? Well, scientists and engineers are inherently optimists. We do, in general, believe that our work will make the world a better place, and that we can, through study, experimentation, and invention, solve seemingly impossible problems. Vaccines and antibiotics, medical implants, solar panels. I mean, we've landed spaceships on the moon and on Mars, and we've even sent one out of the solar system. I, and many of my colleagues, feel this way about climate change and the solutions to climate change. Why is that not the message? The language of scientific exchange is different than regular communication. The scientific community is cautious. We work in a world of uncertainty with open questions, but we're hesitant to share our conclusions before we can lay out a full, complete argument. And in this case, the urgent conclusions about climate change and the actions that we should take get obscured by this scientific uncertainty. And that provides space for climate denial to take root. And when that happens, we don't take the actions that we should to start transforming the society to fight climate change. And the truth is, we do know how to start that transformation, even if we don't know completely how to finish it. Deploying existing renewable energy technologies, building infrastructure to support those technologies, changing the way we think about and use transportation systems and others. These are all essential for success. The less aggressive we are now about implementing these and other ideas, the harder the full transformation will be. If we wait until we know how it ends, we will never start. It takes courage to start something when you don't know how to finish it. It takes courage to start to tell a story when you don't know how it will end. Just because we know how to start doesn't mean it's easy. It is very, very hard. Why? Well, many reasons. The solutions require changing the status quo. We fear change and the unknown, but humans also have the capacity to push themselves to extraordinary heights when we're motivated. The solutions require recognizing the harm our actions cause to others. Everyone's actions are needed because everyone's actions are contributing to the problem. Those of us in rich countries, much more so. Taking action means admitting the harm that we've done and trying to make the world better. These solutions require significant cost or pain. We're all going to feel that, less globally than inaction will cost us. And we're resilient. I think if we know that there's a goal at the end, we can accomplish that. 4, the solutions require collective action by humanity. Like other social movements, no one person's actions can change the trajectory of the planet. If we all pitch in, we succeed. If not, we fail. So what we need are stories that explain where we are and where we need to go, the science, but that also teach us bravery in the face of the unknown, empathy for strangers, selflessness to give of ourselves for the world, and a sense of community with all the beings on the planet. My final question for you all is, how can we work together to make and share these stories? Thank you.